Matt here from the Gas Shed again. Today we're having a quick look at this easy stove that I've had for a couple of years. It's essentially a rocket stove. It's kind of a way of containing fire, really, like a little portable fireplace. Essentially there's a little feed tray here that you put your fuel on. Air is able to come up underneath it, and inside here on top of the tray there's actually little holes, perforations that the air can get up underneath, so it basically fuels the fire with plenty of oxygen, so it burns quite cleanly, so you don't get a lot of smoke. As you can see, there's no smoke coming out of the top of it, very little residue and ash and stuff in the bottom. Burns very cleanly in that regard. What else can we say about it? It's a little bit rotund. It's quite large. You can see it's got this wire pot support around the top, so it's a bit of a bugger to transport. This tray does come out and you can pop it in the top, but this doesn't pack down any smaller. So it's about 10 inches, 12 inches around, so it's quite a large beast to put anywhere. This does actually stay cool, so as you can see I can pick that up, and if I can't do it with one hand, but you can't lift it up when it's going, and it does have a bit of a gap off the ground, so it doesn't leave a huge scorch mark. You get a bit of a brown ring, as you can see here. You might be able to see it here. It's kind of browning out my poor grass. Grass is a bit destroyed anyway. That's what happens when you've got two Labradors. So it does actually dry the grass out of it, so you get a little bit of burnt patch. I mean, if I go to a campground that specifically says no fires, open fires, barbecues and stuff, what I'll do is I'll just take a fire blanket, like a fiberglass fire blanket, and pop it on underneath, and that cuts down on any scorching, so it just keeps everybody happy. So apart from it being a bit of a tubby, the only other couple of things that are a bit of a bugger with it is that you need to cut your firewood up really small. It needs stuff that's like kindling size, so you do have to feed it in quite regularly. So this is burning. This is probably taken about 5-8 minutes or something to burn all that up, and it's all kind of this size stuff. So it's very time consuming with manufacturing of your fire wood to pot in there. So it's all got to be kindling size, and to get it to get a decent amount of cooking out of it, you need to stack quite a fair bit of the little small twigs in there, you know, this size or fingertip size, to get the best heat out of it. You can get it hot enough to fry on it. We've done bacon and eggs and sausages and patties and things like that on it quite easily. Got like a cast iron skillet that goes on the top that I got from the car boot sale. So yeah, you can easily boil and stuff on it. Probably the other thing with it is being a fire, it is still susceptible to wind taking your heat away. So you've got to make sure that you've got it sort of sheltered from the wind, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of heat that comes off it. It's not a raging inferno, but it's you know, it does still put out enough heat. So behind some sort of shelter, obviously can't put it in your tent or anything like that. It's still basically a fire, so you're still getting, there is some gases coming off there, but it's just not as you can see, there's not any smoke per se. It's pretty well made. It's made of stainless steel. This top here, I think, needs a stainless steel leg, so covered in like a plastic sort of non-slip coating stuff. That seems to have stayed intact. We've had this for a couple of years. We haven't used it excessively. We've used it on a few camping trips. Before we got the Hope stove, you would have seen in one of my other videos that I put a wood stove in a common shelter. Since we've got that, we probably use this less and less. We probably use it a lot more out back here in the garden. Kids like in summertime we use it for doing our sausages and stuff on. Actually, kids kind of get a bit of a kick out of it, feeding wood in. Good for doing marshmallows. Got a perfect marshmallow. You can rest your marshmallows on there. Works quite well. Yeah, so overall it's quite good. Would I buy it again? It's a toughie. If I didn't have the Hopes, the wood stove that I've got that goes into the shelter, I probably would still be very happy with this. It's just that once we've got that in there, we kind of superseded things, because it's easy to get in the shelter. This, you still kind of have to have it out of a shelter, so you can't really be undercover and cooking on it. But you know, if you're going to be going somewhere where they're a bit resistant to fires, this still does work well, because you're not leaving a big mess about it. It's contained, you can cook on it, You don't get a lot of smoke because it doesn't annoy the rest of your your campmates out. And it gives you there's a little bit of warmth there. It's not really designed for that sort of thing. I think with these, the sidewall does still get a bit hot, but from there. But yeah, all in all, quite a good little product if you want to do a bit of cooking on it. Alrighty. So as before, remember to, with YouTube doing this crazy thing, remember to push the like button. Give me a few likes. Comments in the comments box if you want to know anything out about this guy. As I said, all these sort of things are by myself, so it's not something I've been sponsored, so you'll get a pretty straight review out of it. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, see you later.